Imagine spending 250 hours preparing for a single exam. That's more time than runners spend training for the New York City Marathon. And yet, you are more likely to start and finish that marathon than pass the Certified Financial Planner exam, where 1 in 3 candidates fail. Picking when you take the exam can significantly improve your chances of success. Let me show you what I mean. We'll be diving into the official stats published by the CFP Board to understand the most and least popular months for taking the exam, how personal events like weddings and vacations can and should impact your test timing, and whether CPAs, accountants, are ruining November pass rates. But first, why is the CFP exam so hard? Well, really, the exam is more like a triathlon than it is a marathon. It covers 8 broad areas, including investments, tax, and estate planning. And unlike many professional certifications, you can't pass this test from rote memorization alone. Candidates must answer complex case studies that combine multiple topics. It's no wonder the board recommends spending 250 hours studying for the exam. In terms of test timing, common wisdom says to take this test as soon as possible, about 2 to 3 months after you've completed your coursework. That way, concepts are still fresh in your mind and you have a study routine. But is that always the right choice? Maybe your coursework finishes a month before an exam date, or you finished it a while back and decide to prioritize building your practice instead. Perhaps you have a wedding or baby arriving soon. What should you do then? Opting for the closer exam date can still work. If you go this route, it's important to give yourself at least 8 weeks to study. So for example, if you're graduating from a program in June, you can take the July exam. Start prep before your classes end. And here's a counterintuitive tip. Consider signing up for the exam during the early bird special to save $100. If push comes to shove and you're not feeling prepared, you can always postpone. And that early registration discount makes this decision easier financially. For other situations, let's break down the test cycles: March, July, and November, and why you might choose each. Before taking a look at board stats, I would have guessed that March would be the least popular exam date. With holidays and end-of-year client meetings, it can be hard to prioritize study. However, March consistently averages the second most test takers each year. If you've got low-key holidays or you're in an industry that has an end-of-year lull, March might be a good time for you. Ride the wave of New Year's resolution motivation to pass the exam. July, as it turns out, is the least popular exam date. 400 fewer people take the exam in July than the other 2 cycles. That's pretty big considering that only on average 3,000 people take this exam each time. Personal events like weddings, vacations, and kids out of school likely contribute to fewer test takers. In most years, including 2025, the July test window is the week after 4th of July. Still, despite fewer people studying for the exam, pass rates are similar to other months. Which brings us to November, the most popular month for exam takers. In lots of industries, things slow down over the summer, giving you an extra couple of hours each day to study. But what about this rumor that November is when all the CPAs take the exam, making it harder to pass? According to the most recent survey by the board, only about 5% of CFPs also hold CPAs. Remember, the exam isn't graded on a curve. November test data does have an interesting insight to share. Remember those official stats? Take a look at November 2021. Earlier that year, the CFP Board announced upcoming changes to the exam that would take effect in 2022. There was a surge of test takers trying to pass right before the changes. Roughly 500 more people than would have usually taken it. The result? The pass rate tanked from 64% to 58%. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but when you do the math, that means the pass rate for the 500 people who rushed to take the exam was around 30%, or half the normal rate. More of the story, this is a difficult test that requires proper preparation. Give yourself 250 hours over 8 to 10 weeks to study. When are you taking the CFP exam? Drop a comment below sharing which month you're planning on taking the exam in 2025. Or if you're still not sure, share your situation and let's discuss your best options.